Well, we're more than a shoe store. We like to get the perfect fit for the individual to make their foot comfortable. So we have a multi-step process. Of course, the first thing we do is we listen to the customer and have them describe what they feel on their feet, where their pain is, hip, knee, back, or foot. Then we'll remove their shoes, we'll measure their feet, we will palpate their foot, which means we're looking for calluses, we're looking for varying foot conditions, and we're also checking the flexibility of the foot. After that, we'll take a look at their gait, we'll watch them walk to look at the mobility of their ankle. After that, we'll do a pressure analysis, which will give us an idea of where their most intense pressure is on the foot, so we'll be able to recommend certain devices and or shoes for their foot. When we put all that together, we'll sit down and we'll consult with the customer about the various options that we have. All shoes are different, so we're going to be very particular about coming up with the right suggestion for the customer, whether it's a motion control, stability, or a cushion shoe, whether it's a custom arch support or an over-the-counter arch support. Foot Solutions is kind of a misnomer because it implies a lot of different things. But what we really do, we're more than a shoe store. We evaluate people's feet. We try to accommodate their hip, knee, and back and foot pain with the proper shoe and the proper device in order to give them a proper gait, which affects their musculoskeletal system. So after we measure the foot, we get an idea of the type of foot we're looking at. Then we'll also do a pressure analysis. A lot of people think a pressure analysis can pretty well dictate the type of arch support they need, but it really can't. All it shows us the activity of the toes, which is one of the most overlooked parts of the feet because it does affect our balance. It also affects our leg muscles, which then affects our hip and knee and back pain. So with the pressure analysis, we look for the most intense pressure on their feet, so we'll know what to do when we try to get them into the right shoe, and then that tells us the activity of the toes, and we can also help them with that also. Well, there's a lot of different arch supports. So of course there's the over-the-counter arch supports which come pre-packaged, and then there's the custom arch support. The custom arch support has advantages over a pre-packaged arch support because when we look at the arch, we see that each foot is different. The left foot has a different arch contour than the right foot. Also, when you need to alleviate pressure on one foot, you can do that with a custom arch support. Custom arch supports will give you a total contact. We do a lot of custom arch supports, and we do two types. We do a rigid and a semi-rigid. Well, we use two different types of arch supports because, as I mentioned earlier, all feet are different. Some feet are rigid, some feet are flexible, some feet are arthritic, some feet have different pains than others. So in order to determine the right arch support, we'll look at the height of the arch, and again, the flexibility and the pressure on the foot becomes important. And that's what we try to look at in order to recommend the right arch support. Some people need a lot of cushion because they have a lot of pain on the bottom of the feet, they have a lot of pressure on the bottom of the feet. Some people just need support to minimize ankle movement. In that case, we would probably use a more rigid arch support. But there's a lot of different things that go into selecting the arch support, and that's why we want to be so careful in looking and analyzing the foot and doing it right.